All right. Always tough to win on the road, so certainly excited about last week's performance. I think, people say it all the time, and it's the truth. It's hard to win on the road. It's hard to win in this league. There's a very small margin for error. We were very excited. I thought we had some really, great performances across the board. Jonathan Grenard, he's the one that stands out to me. I know, he didn't have the big sack numbers, but you put the tape on and, you see a guy flying around making a lot of plays, TFLs, playing with great energy, passion. Same thing with Van Ginkel. Same thing with Cash and IP. I thought those guys played well. And then Metellus, hits multiple roles that shows up every week. Some linebacker, some nickel, some safety. And then, Cam Bynum's playing well. Is also obviously finished the game off for us. And Murph is just playing really high-level football. So really contributions from a lot of guys. We talk about that really on a daily basis, just getting playing team defense, everybody handling their responsibility, and then, guys making plays. So, and they're having a good time out there. I don't know what dance that was Cam was doing. I mean, I do know now, but I had no idea what he was doing, live. So it was fun to see.
So you don't have approval rights over post play touch celebration?
I stay in my lane. I try to stay in my lane as much as possible. I approve some other things that's on some other guys.
Hey, Brian, with Josh Metellus at linebacker, I'm just curious, how much were you asking him to do that? Obviously, you say everybody studies everything, but how much was he actually doing that before Cashman's injury? And then how much did you see him grow in that role when
he actually did quite a bit of it last year. So he's, not, totally new to some of those roles. I would say not a light bulb went off, but he's really, he's playing like a linebacker. Seeing making run reads and setting edges when that's the case, and taking on blockers and taking on guards, and dealing with pullers, and seeing flash blocks as we call them. He's really doing a nice job there. And one play he's playing linebacker, the next play is a nickel. I'm sure it's hard to target him offensively. Next play he's playing safety, so we try to move him around as much as we can. Actually, I thought he had some really good blitzes the other day too. I know he was upset about not getting there, but he keeps blitzing like that. He'll get there eventually. So, and we'll keep sending him. So, I think having Cash back kind of opens up a lot of things, for us defensively. Allows for us to, send Metellus a little bit more, send Harry a little bit more. We'll always send IP, and the Cash will blitz as well. So, there's a variety of things that happen there, and he kind of leads the way from that standpoint.
What is a flash block?
Some people call it sift, some people call it plunge. It's basically the tight end's off, and then he, comes across the line of scrimmage and blocks the outside back or edge guy. Every team runs it. But some guys have a hard time seeing it. They're looking at the back. And, Josh has really done a good job from that standpoint.
Brian, just in terms of the turnovers, sometimes, the ball has to bounce your way. But is there something that you see from this team why you've been able to cause so many turnovers?
I say it all the time. You get what you emphasize. I think that's been a point of emphasis since, we walked in here in April. Hat does a great job, kind of leading the charge as far as, drills, presentations. We talk about it, constantly. We have a presentation on it every Thursday. Our guys are taking the coaching and applying it. Our coaching staff's doing the same thing. We drill it at your position. Here's what situations may show up where, you could come off a block and, punch at it. Obviously, in the back end, it's, balls in the air, going up and getting it, tips and overthrows. So, our guys who are in the front getting their hands up. I mean, everybody's involved. So I think just as a team, we understand that it's not just, hey, one guy's going to punch out every ball. It's a tip ball. It's a, coming off a block and in one position is different than coming off a block in another position, and just your intent, or our overall intent is there, and we've been fortunate to get a lot of them out. But we'll just continue to work at it. It's not something we take for granted at all. So trust me, we'll keep working at it. I'll make sure we keep working at it, just so, because it's not an easy thing to do. And obviously teams are, sitting in their meeting going, we got to protect the ball against this group. So that means we got to work even harder to get it to try to get it out.
Brian, it seems like Shaq Griffin, especially on Sunday, was mostly in dime situations, and role's been a little smaller the last couple of weeks. What's led to the change there with his role?
We didn't really play a lot of plays the other day, so a lot of guys' numbers were down. Shaq's done a great job for us. In coverage, he's tackled well. Communication's been good. But that was last week was kind of a different game in that, our offense kind of held time of possession for, a long time. So Jacksonville didn't really get that many snaps, and then, personnel-wise, they were in some bigger groupings for a lot of the game, so it was a little bit different game. Most times you get, a good dose of 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end in the back. I know you guys know that. Just, and that allows you to get more DBs in. They played a lot of 12, so it was just a little different ball game. Plus that combined with the number of snaps, ended up with that number for him.
Brian, have Byron Murphy's ball skills improved, or is that something that you've always noticed from him throughout your time with him?
He's always had very good ball skills, dating back to college. He works at it every day, without fail. And so, have they improved? Yes. He always had very good ball skills, but yes, they've improved. I think he dropped a couple early in the season, and then, he just continued to work, at that skill, and it's shown up in games. Look, I think he's playing some really high-level football right now. So he's doing a lot of good things. He's brought great leadership, and I'm glad we have him and excited, moving forward for him.
In one of the talked about how you guys kind of just put some stuff in at halftime that you guys maybe hadn't planned throughout the week. How often does that happen? How much is that just game specific?
Yeah, I think it's game specific. But again, we got a group that can handle that. Collectively have a pretty high football IQ, and our staff. We're trying to see game flow and what the plan is against us, and if we can. I think we have the capability of making some changes and adjustments at halftime, or really, I like to do it before halftime. But halftime's the time when you got the whole group in there and you can talk to them and say, hey, as a group, this is what they're doing, and this should help us if we execute. That's really the talking point. So yeah, we put in a couple of things that we thought would, put us in good position. The very first one we ran didn't go as planned, so that gives you a little pause in the game as far as did we make the right move? But after that, we made the adjustments and played pretty good ball the rest of the way.
Brian, did you venture outside your lane at all to talk to the kicker and just for what he did in keeping your defense? That's winning performance.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost. I don't know if you guys know this, but I started in the kicking game. That was where I started as a coach. So you peel back the layers. I told him I'm an honorary specialist. So I told him and McQuaid that. So I talk to those guys daily, at practice, and look, the kicking game is like, that's where I got my start. So I've got an affinity and love for that phase of the game. So. Those specialists, whether it's Will or Depot or, Mr. Wright, Romo or McQuaid. I mean, all those guys. I mean, they do a great job, and they're so vital to the success of the team. And they're probably not talked about enough. But until they win the game for us, like Romo did for us, the other day. But yeah, they did a great job, and I'm glad we have all those guys. Oh, we're quick today. All right, guys.